Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Carl. Carl is from Chicago in the USA. So let's see what Carl has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Carl, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So tell me, how's your morning going so far, your day?
It's going pretty well. It's been a lot. My dog is they're on like suicide prevention pills. He's being weird. He like jumps off high objects. It's just been a weird journey. So that's been taking a lot of effort, but besides that, ate some McDonald's. They did give me the wrong order, so a little bit of a decrease and then played some video games only for the power to be cut out. So it's been a journey, a lot of effort.
How old is your dog?
He is 6.
6 years old. Wow. So tell me so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your dog?
Um, I think just learning to accept all difficulties, just anything that's hard that's come, just deal with it one moment at a time. He's also
Uh,
taught me the importance of being able to wrestle. We like to fight sometimes, just like play fight. So I've
okay.
learned a lot about wrestling abilities from him, which has been fun.
Wow. So tell me where you're from, Carl,
I am from Chicago. I currently live there. I'm in Colorado just for the week, just visiting family, but I do live in Chicago.
and why Chicago?
That's just where I was born and raised, and I'm
And
just staying there right now. And then maybe at some point I'll get out, but for now I'm staying in Chicago.
and all your family live there as well, or not?
Yes, originally we all lived there, and then they moved to Colorado, and I stayed behind for a couple more years, I think.
I see. And tell me what you do for work, for living.
Um, I have a couple side hustles. I don't know if you ever heard of like catalytic converters, but basically I go around and I find them and I'll refurbish them, clean them, and then resell them.
Uh-huh.
That's my main thing I like to do. Sometimes I'll go to like high school or middle schools, and while kids are in class, I'll like get them whatever they need, like food or such.
I
And
see.
then, but currently I am unemployed.
I see. And tell me what was the best joy of growing up in Chicago in your experience?
It was a very calm, peaceful place. Nothing really happened. We had great like police funding, so I always felt safe and things like that. It never felt nothing out of the ordinary happened. It was peaceful, it was quiet, and it was just enjoyable.
Amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Sounds good.
Amazing. But before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Something interesting about myself. Let me think. Mm, I really enjoy just having a good time, just kind of making the most out of all the moments, just enjoying living, laughing, loving, that type of thing.
Amazing. Aaron, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes, I'm excited.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here
Awesome.
my full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song just first to relax before the first question. All right?
Okay.
Let's do it. All right, so before I start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, I always can change. Okay?
All right.
Right, first question for you is, what's your favorite holiday season of the year and why?
Favorite holiday season. It's probably around December. Um, I enjoy the cold. We have a pretty big homeless issue here. There's homeless people all around, and when it gets cold, they kind of go into hiding. They're not as here as much, and the streets look cleaner and better. And it's just, I enjoy Christmas. It's a fun time with all the family to see all of them, hang out with them, and have a good time. So it has to be probably, I think, winter.
Well, of course, Christmas is very soon. It's just around the corner. Um,
Yes.
so tell me, what's the meaning of Christmas for you?
Meaning of Christmas. I mean, obviously, I enjoy the gift giving and gift receiving. I love getting things, giving things, all of that. But it's also family, I think, more than anything else. I enjoy sitting down, spending time with family, just being able to enjoy and bond with them over the holiday season.
And if you could send a message to the world right now about Christmas, what that would be?
Um, I think I would say just enjoy all the family experience. Just enjoy being with the family.
Amazing. And how are you going to spend Christmas this year?
This year I'm gonna go to my family's house and we're all going for like a week or two and we're just gonna spend time together.
I see. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay. Next question is, what's your spirit animal?
Spirit animal. Oh, that's a good question. God, if I had to say anything, I think I'd say a sloth. They
Tell me
just
what.
kind of they're just a chill guy. They kind of just sit around and sleep all day. And I feel closely to that. I wish I could do more of that.
When you think about yourself, Carl, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Carl?
Everything about being me. Oh, I have to think about that. I think it's probably I think it's just part of my freedom that I have. I can really just do whatever I want, whatever I want to. Like in the middle of the night, I can get up and just go run around town, kind of vigilante style, and do good.
Wow. And tell me, which person in your family you feel more close to? Do you have siblings as well?
Yes, I have one sister,
Younger or older than you?
a little bit younger.
And which person in your family you feel more close right now, more connected with?
Closest family member I feel to is probably it might be my dogs. They're always nothing ever wrong ever happens with them. They're always close. But besides them, human beings, probably my mother or father.
See. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, Carol, of course, we got connected through TikTok. Yeah? So tell
Yes.
me about your page. Tell me what is about that, when you are live on TikTok or when you put your videos, what's the message behind?
I've been doing it for a little while now. I've been doing the whole social media thing. I've been making videos on all platforms, YouTube, Twitch, all of those.
Uh-huh.
Especially TikTok. I just try to tell good jokes, kind of make people laugh. And when going on live on TikTok, I tried to build a puzzle, which ended up with me throwing it on the ground. I think I just try to have a good time, make people laugh, and same thing with YouTube videos. Just make a good experience.
And how often do you go live on TikTok? And tell me a little bit more about your YouTube channel as well.
As far as TikTok, that's only my second time going live. I don't go live very often. I mainly just don't have ideas for what I would do, and I just don't think anyone would want to sit there and watch me just stare into the camera with a blank expression for an hour. It just doesn't sound very appealing. But anytime I get an idea, I love to go live, just do a couple funny bits and stuff, make some people laugh. And then as far as my YouTube channel goes, that's something I've been working really hard on that I'm really proud of, that's come a long way.
Mhm.
I enjoy doing these cool, fun projects, and I like editing them, putting passion, telling story, conveying emotion, and just making a lot of good, funny jokes. So that's been something I've been working really hard on that I enjoy and feel has come a long way.
And when did you have the idea to open your your YouTube channel?
Oh boy. There's been multiple attempts. The first time I tried it was in fourth grade. I did it for about a year, then realized I don't know what I'm doing, and so I quit. And then in middle school, I tried it again for 2 days, realized I don't know what I'm doing, so I quit again. And then it was freshman year of high school, my first year of high school, when I decided, okay, let's try this one final time. Let's take it a little more seriously. So I did a whole YouTube thing for about a year. Nothing really worked. I kind of just messing around, trying to figure things out. And then I had the idea to create a TikTok account, so I did that, and then that started to do really good, and that started to get some good amount of traction, got some good followers, just get community interactions. And then when I realized I started to figure out how to do this thing, then I went back to YouTube and really tried my hardest, and it's been going very well. And every time I make a new video, I'm learning so much and putting everything I have into it. And they're doing
Amazing.
amazing.
Great. Next question is, what was your favorite part about school?
Nothing, honestly, truly honest. I hated school. It was brutal for me for sure. I think my favorite part was probably either lunchtime when we'd go out during lunch and go somewhere and eat and do a little bit of gambling, and then usually we'd come back extremely late. But I think that was my probably favorite part. It's leaving the school building at the end of the day and lunchtime.
And why is that? Why you didn't have much connection with the school? Is because, something connected with the environment or with the learning process?
I just hated everything we did. It was just hard for me to enjoy anything. I just like English. I just didn't care. Like I learned about all these adjectives and proper grammar, and sometimes it just didn't seem like it's useless. Math was just brutal. Learning about these Ferris wheels, Pythagorean theorems. I just don't use them ever in the real world. It was just hard to be told that, oh, go home, learn this thing, come back, and then you're going to be graded. And that is basically how much you are worth. And I never got good grades. I always wanted to do something fun and enjoyable. So it was a brutal process.
Did you have a favorite teacher at the time or not?
I had a couple favorite teachers. They were usually just teachers that were really funny. I currently have a teacher in college that is absolutely hilarious, and he is my favorite. He just tells good jokes. He's a funny guy, and I like him.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Like dancing? Or
Yes, I do.
amazing. Next question for you is, what's the biggest prize you ever won?
Biggest prize I ever won. Let me see. I think the biggest prize I ever won is I don't know if you're familiar, there's this super great website called Temu, and it's an app, and I logged on, I got a 95% off coupon for any order on Temu, and I was super excited. So I bought a real blood diamond, which was super excited for, and that was a couple months ago. It hasn't come in, so I guess I gotta wait a couple more months for that.
Wow. Tell me, what's the meaning of life for you, Carl?
Meaning of life. There's a lot that I think I could say, but I like to use this one phrase that I heard from somebody else, and I live it very closely. I think I'd say fuck smoke game repeat is a quote that I've heard a lot that I just enjoy. It's just kind of encapsulates everything I enjoy to do, and it's just like live, laugh, love, I think is the perfect way to describe it.
What's the most, let's say, meaningful lesson that life has taught you so far?
Meaningful? That's a good question. Oh man, that's a big question too. I think the most meaningful thing I've been taught is probably just how to speak to people, just how to interact with people. You can really have good conversations, and I think that's one of the joys of life is interacting with other people. You can kind of manipulate them. They can have a good time with you. You can talk, and that's I think one of the best things, just talking to people and having that connecting experience.
And what kind of topic you kind of get more interested to talk or discuss or, sharing idea with people?
I think as far as sharing ideas, currently I think it's probably with my just like content creation, like with this YouTube and TikTok thing. The more I do it, the more I enjoy it. I've been taking it a little more seriously for about a year now, and it's just something that it just drives me. It's one of the things I'm most passionate about.
I see. Most of the people you connect with, they are from a certain age or place in the world, or is a mix of them?
I think it's mostly a mix. I think it's mostly people from the same area I am in, just by chance. I think it's just easier to connect with me, but I don't have any preferences. I just think whoever comes, I'm more than willing to collab with and love to work with them.
And what's the most frequent questions that people ask you on social media?
It's probably like, what's wrong with you? Why do you do this? Which is pretty funny. And it just drives me. I just love and I enjoy creating my own things, just having nothing, creating something, editing it down to this perfect creation. I love it. It just brings me so much passion and joy.
And what's one of your videos that got more popular or more views, or something that's you posted and people somehow they connected or they disagree or agreed? Tell me the one.
Yes. I think currently my most popular video I've made is on YouTube. It is I compared these two different video games that I enjoyed, and I stated that they were the same game, and so it took a lot of work to make them. I had to record me playing through both games. So there was about over maybe I think there was about 60 or 70 hours worth of footage I had to dive into, slowly cut into pieces and put it all together, but ended up feeling worth it because it's now my most viewed video I have, which is amazing. And I feel so proud. It got lots of love, attention, and all that. And that was awesome. That was awesome to see. It's amazing to put all this time and effort into a video and see it pay off.
Amazing. Next question, ready?
Yes.
Do it. Next one. Hey, before the next one, tell me about your wrestling journey so far. How wrestling came into your life?
I think it started just like when I was a child, when I was like a young child, like kind of like a toddler. My dad would sometimes come over and wrestle me, and I always thought that was hilarious and super funny. He'd like pin me on the ground or throw me across the room onto like a couch or soft surface so I didn't get hurt. And I always thought that was hilarious. And then like with the dogs, I'd do a little play fighting. So then eventually I went into school and actually started wrestling, and I turned out I was pretty okay. I don't do it anymore, but it was just a fun way to do something I was good at.
And when you think about your childhood memories, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
That's a good question. I think the best one. Well, there's two. I think there's one childhood and one like moving from childhood to adulthood. I think
Okay.
from childhood to adulthood, it was probably the discovery of alcohol. That's been an amazing experience. Made my life so much better, feels like. But then actual childhood memories, it was probably it's hard to think about childhood. My childhood was very boring. I kind of went to school, came home, watched SpongeBob, watched YouTube. That was pretty much my routine until about high school. So there's just not much really to go through, but I think my best memories, I consider high school still childhood because I haven't adulted by then. So I think it's
Okay.
just hanging out with those amazing group of friends. Through 4 years, I've been able to build this group of friends that is just amazing. They're so funny, so amazing, and it's just hanging out with them, leaving school, going on these adventures with them. It's been amazing.
Wow. Great. Next question is, what do you like the most about yourself? We already talked about that before, so I'm gonna skip this one. I can get another question for you. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Right. Next question is, what's the happiest day in your life so far, and why you consider that?
Heaviest.
The happiest, the happiest.
Oh, happiest. Okay, that makes much more sense. Um, my dog, me and my mom went eating, and my dog was left in the car, and my dog actually got stolen. She jumped out of the car, and someone came and picked her up and put her in the van and drove about 5 hours away. And when we came back, she wasn't there, and it was the most horrifying experience. It immediately became the worst day of my life. And after about 7 hours of going through restaurants, banks, security footage with the police, we were able to find out exactly who and where they are, able to track them down, get in contact. The police talked to them, and we're able to drive 5 hours and pick up my dog. And it was a one in a
Wow.
million chance, and we could not believe it. And it is both the worst and best day of my life.
Oh my God, I've got goosebumps now. You're saying that, Carl. Oh my God. So
It
that is,
was, yeah, it was
and you
crazy.
got your dog back.
It was nuts just because the waiter had their credit card information. It was the only reason we could do it. It was super lucky.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh wow. Tell me something. Do you think happiness is a choice?
I don't think it's a choice, but I think you can influence how much you can be happy. I think happiness is just produced and it just kind of happens. It's just an emotion that you feel whenever the timing is right. but you can change how often you're happy. You whether it's through drugs and alcohol or just doing these amazing experiences like hanging out with like friends or family. You can choose when you're happy, but I think happiness is just something that comes naturally. You just have to manipulate it.
See, okay. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, you were talking about alcohol, yeah? Why do you think alcohol somehow, when you tried and somehow you connected with for some reason? Tell me about it if you can.
Oh, you sound like my therapist. I think it's just I associate it with having like a good time with friends because anytime we're hanging out, we always like to just take a couple sips of a drink and all that stuff. And it's just been that's like the only time I'll ever drink. So it's just kind of to the point where I've associated it with being with friends and hanging out and having those good experiences and and a little bit with gambling as well, which has been fun too. And I think that's the same story.
And do you get drunk very easily?
Not as much anymore. I think it's just to the point where I've built up this resistance. But
And what's your sorry.
originally, yes.
And what's your favorite drink?
I think it's probably a rum and coke. It's just simple, easy, non-expensive. You just make it on
Mhm.
the fly. All you need is two ingredients.
Amazing. Okay. Next question is, what's your idea of a perfect friendship?
Perfect friendship. I think it's pretty close to what I have with, I think a perfect friendship I would describe as more than just like two people. I think it's like a group of people because you can all interact off each other. And I think it's where you can you can tease each other, you can be a little mean, you can be nice, you can be sensitive, you can open up about anything. And anytime you're together, it's just to have a good time. There's no other reason you'd ever be together. You just when you meet up, you just know, all right, the rest of the time we're together is just going to be a fun time, and that's
Well,
what you strive to do, make each other laugh.
okay, so let's see that all your close friends that are watching this interview right now, when you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message, what would you say?
Mm. I think I'd ask them to let's go to the casino later. I think that'd be my first thing. That's one of our favorite journeys. I think I just invite them to go hang out somewhere. Let's go hang out, guys. Let's go lose some money at the casino.
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
All right.
Next question for you is, what makes you a unique person?
Makes me unique. From what I've heard, I think as people describe me, the biggest thing that sets me apart from anybody else is the most common adjective I hear to describe me is probably the word evil. I think it's used jokingly, but I think I just like to do these jokes. I really strive to make people laugh, and I enjoy a good time. Making other people laugh makes myself laugh, and I strive to make funny bits and emotions and jokes.
When they say evil, what they mean by that?
I think it's just like pull these like pranks kind of, I call them. Just like silly jokes like and I'll like crude humor sometimes. I'll just make these jokes and everyone laughs and I don't mean anything, but it's just fun time. I just go for the joke.
Do you believe in destiny?
Yes.
Tell me how.
I think there is a destined path. I think realistically there's multiple destinies paths you can take. You just got to
Mhm.
choose which one you want to. I think like every person has a set amount of different places they can arrive, like destinations almost, and it's just a matter of you to choose the proper roads and turnoffs to get to where you want to go. And I think like there's for each person there's like careers and endings and how much you can make, and I think you just have to pick the proper paths to get to you where you want to go. And I think there's both good and awful destinies. You just got to choose which one you want to strive for.
Do you believe that people cross other people's lives for a reason?
I think I don't think it's a reason. I think it mostly is coincidental, but I think you can turn it into a reason. I think you as a human being are able to transfer it and make it a good reason. Opportunity, I think is the best way to describe it. When someone comes into your life, you can just shrug it off, move it on, just waste it. or you can take the opportunity and benefit off of it, making it a good reason. So I think every person that comes to your life is potential. It's just up to you to turn it into a reason.
Amazing. 2 questions left. Let's do it. For the next question, Carl, tell me if you'll come to Chicago for the very first time. Tell me a place that I shouldn't miss it. What's the postcard of the city, in your opinion?
Oh, the best place, the postcard. If you're in Chicago, there's this small town. It's like this small little area. It's like kind of like an apartment complex, but it's called like O Block is its new name. It's in honor of someone, and that is probably the coolest place in Chicago. It's a very cute, it's kind of like a small town, this community, everyone's super nice, super playful. You just get along with everyone, and it's a good place. And that's where I got to grow up, and I love that place more than anything, and I suggest anyone to visit there.
And what is the most challenging part in living in Chicago, in your opinion?
I think that every now and then there's a couple weird things that happen. That I think the community can be a little bit strange and outlandish sometimes. So it's just dealing with whatever the city has to throw at you, whether
Okay,
it's good or bad.
I see. Okay. Next question is, tell us about your earliest memory in life.
Earliest memory. Ooh. I think it's weird because it seems like everyone just kind of gains consciousness 1 second, just out of nowhere. And I think for me, it was it was either my birthday or it was Christmas. They're very close together, so it's hard to differentiate them. But I got this like Batman and Superman toy, and it was like this Bat Cave, and I got a Superman toy and a Batman toy. So obviously, I wanted to make Batman fly, and I'm guessing I was 3 or 4 at the time. So I
Wow.
go up the stairs to make Batman fly, but what I didn't realize is I would also go flying with him. So both me and Superman flew down the stairs.
Did you get badly hurt?
Nothing too bad, but I think I did hit my head enough to suddenly gain conscious. I think that was the clicking. I think there's a button that it activated.
Oh wow. Were you seen as a naughty child or not? You're kind of chilled growing up.
I was definitely a lot to handle with. I am impressed my parents were able to put up with as much as they did. I feel sorry for them. I try to
Oh,
make it up to them, but yes, it took a lot. I was never good in school. Many a times they'd be getting phone calls, emails, text messages. Your son is getting up to no good. I was a lot to handle with. Me and my friends would always hang out for too long, do something silly, do something stupid. It was definitely a lot to handle for sure. I was a very problematic child.
do you see, I love your honesty. Do you think that
Yes.
nowadays you are a totally different person, or you still, carry some of those personality at the time?
I think at heart I am a child. I don't think I've matured 1 bit since I was maybe in middle school, but I think I have learned and been taught to not be that child when it's a bad time. I think I can control how much I am that child and how much I am a functioning human being. I think I've been able to mask it. So like when I go to meet someone or I go see like family members, I'm not going to start jumping and screaming, acting like a monkey. I am able to act like a regular human being. But every now and then I'm with friends or the time's right, then I get to release that monster, that little child.
Do you think that little monster was around because it was a way to get attention, or it was a bit of, you know, something that you could understand? Tell me, when you look back, what was that?
I think it's just been always the same thing my whole life. I think it's that like that child that's been carrying. It's just funny. I think there's nothing that makes me feel more fulfilled or happier than just funny, just comedy, just something comedic.
Right.
So I'll go through striving to just make that good joke, or I'll run around being funny in order to make other people and myself laugh. And I think it's just that strive for just that funny comic relief. I think that is what's always been my number 1 goal and describes me
I,
as a person.
I think in the end of the day it comes from a good place. You know what I mean? You just want to put it out, your creativity, something about you that you just want to put out there. Sometimes it comes
Yes.
the wrong way, but it just was that's what you believed. And
Yes.
if you could sit down with your 13 years old self, what would you say?
Oh. I probably tell him that you gotta pull your stuff together, man. This is getting ridiculous. Like, be a little, you gotta act like an adult sometimes, and maybe stop causing so many problems. And I think the most important is probably tell him to get on the housing stock market. I think I should have been investing by then. I would have been in a much better situation.
Amazing. Last question, ready?
Yes.
Do it, last question. But before the last question, of course, 2024, it's almost there, almost finishing, and 2025, it's just, around the corner. What has been the highlight of your year when you think back? When you look back, you go like, wow, that has been something that's, for some reason, bad or good, you're gonna always remember. And the other part of the question is 2025, what is something that maybe you want to achieve, or maybe when you think about a new year, what comes to your mind?
I think this is gonna say a lot about my goals and strives in my boring life, I think you can consider it. But I think looking back on this year, the one thing that stands out is like obviously I finished high school last year, which is kind of cool. It felt like it was time, but the thing I'm most proud of and happy with is just my growth with my content creation. It's something that I am truly passionate about, and it really does drive me, and I want to do better. I have my skills and ability has improved so much. It's been insane. I've gotten so much better at everything I've been doing. My video styles, my numbers, everything's been going up, and it's just my improvement. No, just improving in every way has been amazing. I'm super proud of it. And 2025 is, I think, the same thing. I just want to be better. I want to continue improving. I'm getting better than I could ever imagine I am at this, like making YouTube videos and TikToks, but I think it's not good enough, and I'd love to increase it tenfold and be able to do amazing things.
Last question is, who was your first crush and why?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I have to think back about that. Oh, first crush. It's probably gonna be from a cartoon. I think it's gonna be Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob. Funny enough.
Tell me why. What was the connection with her?
I think I just laid eyes on her, that just the creature, and just a neuron activated. So it's something, an electric spark went off, and I think that was just the first time I ever saw someone. I was like, wow, that is magnificent. And then from there, it's gotten more honed into real life in actual applications.
I see. Okay. So tell me, how do you see the dating life in Chicago? Do you see that it's easy to connect with people? It's easy for you to go on a date, or do you think like those stigma of big cities where there are so many people around, it can be
Yes.
difficult? How do you see, in your opinion?
I think, well, to be honest, Chicago is filled with people who are mostly insane, crazy, psychotic people. And so it's a little sketchy. You got like a 50-50 chance of finding a regular human being. But
Yeah.
I personally, I'm not at the point in my life where I'm striving to find that relationship. I think if it comes, that'd be awesome, but
Mhm.
I just don't need that right now. I'm working with enough currently, just trying to go through everything. And I think that will be something later on I can deal with when it's time.
Amazing. Okay, so then let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just the one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
All right.
Let's start with money.
None.
Okay, life,
None. Not much.
family.
Um, Happiness.
One word for fear.
I'd like to say none, but the death.
Okay, love,
None.
religion.
None. Funny enough.
Okay, sex,
None.
friendship,
Um, Important.
politics,
No.
desire,
Creation.
um, regret,
Problems.
success,
Preferable.
wish,
Succeed.
happiness,
Most important. Important.
Okay. Wrestling, one word.
Um, Crazy.
Chicago.
Nuts.
I was expecting that. Um,
Yes.
USA, one word.
Um, Strong.
Wow. And if you could define all your page on TikTok, yeah, your videos, your page, what would be in one word?
Um, Funny.
Amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'll ask your best friend, define Carl in one positive and one negative word only. What your best friend would say.
Um, I think it depends on what type of mood they're in. I think if they're gonna be honest, they'd probably say, I think if they're gonna knowing them, they'd probably say something like idiot, just being funny, playful.
Yeah.
But I think it would take a lot to get it out of them. But I think they'd probably say passionate or either passionate or I would hope they say something like funny, but I think passionate or funny would probably be one of the things they say.
And if I'll ask the same question to your parents, would be the same answer.
I don't think so. I think they would probably say passionate. I think that's probably what they would go with, especially nowadays.
And negative?
Negative, I think my probably I think they would probably use the word silly, but I think in reality it would probably be stupid.
I see. Let's play now, Carl, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, when people watch your page on TikTok or when they watch your videos on YouTube, what's the message would you like them to, something that you like them to take with them when they, visit your pages?
I think a good time is what I strive for. I just when they're watching, I hope they're having a good time. I hope they're laughing, smiling, and when they leave, I hope they feel that that was a good laugh and time well spent watching, and that they're happy with what they're leaving with.
When I was watching your videos, you come across a very confident person. Am I right, or is it's just because you feel the happiest when you are doing your videos?
I think I am definitely confident in what I do because I know I'm passionate about it.
Mhm.
And but I think it's also like this play I put on just to kind of be more entertaining. It's just I'm this confident, funny, charismatic person that's puts a lot into his emotions and is just very forward and upfront with it.
Okay, you can ask me a question now.
A question for you. What is your biggest fear in relationships?
Oh, wow. What a great question, Carl. I was expecting that. My goodness. Wow. Actually, I had over 1,300 interviews and no one asked this question. Wow.
That's impressive.
Wow. Amazing. Okay. What's my biggest fear in a relationship? Okay. I'm going to tell you right now what the first thing that came to my mind. It's about my personality. And I'll tell you
Mm,
why. I'll explain why. My star sign astrology is Scorpio. And Scorpio, our tendency is to be a bit jealous, a bit controlling. Something about it that through my relationships in the past, I realized that at some point I get a bit insecure, which is just this little evil in my mind that does exist. Somehow just keep it coming. And I start feeling a bit jealous and I start maybe change a little bit about the connection I have with my partners. So I believe that I love the question and I love the answer as well. My biggest fear in a relationship, it's about my personality that sometimes can be stable in this way. You know what I mean? Of course,
yes.
the older you get, you start to spot it, understanding and working on it. However, still there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I love the question, and my answer is my biggest fear. It's about maybe not um, knowing how to control my personality regarding that. So it's a fear that I have as well when I meet again. Well, sorry, when I meet someone interesting that I connected with somehow, that there is maybe something that can go forward. I go like, okay, personality. So I start to feel a bit fear. So yeah, that's my answer for you.
That's a good answer. That's deep. I like that.
Amazing. Did you enjoy the interview?
It was very fun. Yes.
Thanks again. Thanks for being so kind and sweet and accepting my invitation. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Mm. I think it'd probably be a quote almost, I think. It was by our America's one of our presidents from the senior citizen home, Joe Biden. He said a quote that I think is very, very true and kind of describes what I like to live by. I believe the quote goes, America is a nation that can be described in a single word. I think he mistakenly said it, but I think what he tried to say is just it could be whatever you want. I think that was the message he was trying to convey. He just didn't do a very good job.
Oh my God, I love that. Amazing. Once again, thanks for the interview and Merry Christmas. Yeah, I hope you have a great time with your family and a Happy New Year as well. And I just hope your page grows more and more the way you want it. And just keep being yourself, passionate, and trust me, it just go, forward. Because when you do something with passion, it just, the tendency is always to be successful. So carry on, okay?
All right, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too.
Take care. Bye-bye. Take
All
care.
right, bye-bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.